podcast. We're going to move on to our second topic of the show. And we're going to go to Jordan Dean and see what he wants to talk about this week. Jordan, have you finally decided? We've been sitting here for 3 hours trying to come up with a topic for Jordan Dean for this week.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't. I'm sorry that I offered to let Schuler use Spider-Man.
You didn't offer me anything.
I did. I said, Schuler, do you want to use Spider-Man? And you said yes.
You didn't offer. I stole it. So
whatever. I finally found something. I read an article on IGN.com talking about Game of Thrones season 5 and how the showrunners are taking creative liberties, yeah, with the books. They're going to be killing off characters this season that, as of right now, are still alive in the books. And it brought to my mind all the other creative liberties that other studios have used in their movies and TV shows. The one that you mentioned, Mitch, was The Dark Knight.
Yeah, Nolan didn't really care about sticking to the comic books in his movies. Nolan was only concerned about making good movies.
And he did make good movies.
It worked for Chris Nolan. I feel like in Batman Begins, he stuck pretty well to the comics. But he told a story that was easily adaptable to comics.
Yeah.
Then The Dark Knight Rises came out. Even the Dark Knight, everybody, you could have probably put that in some kind of comic spin. But The Dark Knight Rises, Bane wasn't
nothing like his comic book counterpart.
He was just a good fighter.
Bane wasn't, I was going to say Bane wasn't Ra's al Ghul's son, but he wasn't in the books either, or in the movies either.
Bane wasn't jacked up on Venom, and he wasn't 9 foot tall and 600 pounds. And I watched an interview with Nolan when he was talking about that, and he said that when David Goyer came to him about The Dark Knight Rises, and he said, "I want to use Bane," Nolan was like, "You've lost your mind. Like, what are you talking about? How can I adapt him into my world?"
Yeah.
And Nolan kind of took it on as a challenge, like, I want to see if I can do this. Of course, obviously he can.
Yeah, because he did.
Anybody that can think up a story like Interstellar or Inception obviously can adapt Bane from a comic book. Some other things that I've seen really take a lot of creative liberties is on television. Arrow has taken a number of creative liberties.
Yeah. And it's really cool seeing DC Comics adapt to those creative liberties and mold their comic books now with Arrow.
That's what I was about to point out, was all the changes they've made on Arrow, for the most part, have been for the betterment of the series.
Yeah.
Because who really cared about the Green Arrow comics before that TV show?
I never even really had heard of them.
Right. Very few people read the Green Arrow. And, now you got a guy like Diggle, which is so popular with fans that they had to add him to the comic books.
Yeah. Felicity,
so popular with fans, they had to add her to the comic books. So I think when it works like that, it works well. Can you guys think of any instances where it's not worked out? Where somebody's took a creative liberty? Well, right off the top of my head, you got X-Men Origins Wolverine with Deadpool.
Yes.
There's a pretty big creative liberty where that exactly did not benefit Deadpool very much.
No.
Nor did it benefit the movie he was crafted into.
Thankfully, we're getting another shot at that.
Yeah. Hopefully Ryan Reynolds the second time around can really hit a home run on this one. Any other ones that really stand out to you?
Well, I just learned that Jurassic Park was originally a book in 1990, and that the ending of the book ended with the island being destroyed by bombing, compared to the movie where they just left.
Right.
So there's a big difference.
Wasn't there multiple books though?
That's more of a fodder for a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they're going to want to get a sequel out of this movie, so you can't exactly destroy the island and kill all the dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park 3 was an entirely different island.
But didn't the books have sequels too?
I had no idea.
I was thinking the second movie was based off of the second book as well.
Well, that would tend to make sense.
Yeah.
It was I think it was the second movie that had a different island of dinosaurs than the first movie. So obviously there was different islands with dinosaurs. So.
Right. I'm I'm trying to think of various comic series that have been adapted and that things have been changed. There were some things changed in Constantine, from the Hellblazer comics to the TV show. Gotham is nothing but creative liberty.
Yes.
You know, they got a free ground right there to do what they want to.
Yeah.
What do you think about Man of Steel? Superman.
Man of Steel was different. You know,
because he killed Zod at the end.
Yeah, but you know, I think when Zack Snyder came up, you know, when him and Goyer came up with that ending, I think they knew that it was going to be a real defining moment for that movie. And I feel like having Cal kill him, spoiler alert if you've not seen the ending of Man of Steel, but having Cal kill Zod was smart, because it gives Superman a reason not to kill anyone else. Now that he has killed and he knows what it's like, he's going to be more determined to not do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like Arrow at the end of season 1.
Yes.
Spoiler alert: when Tommy dies, Oliver, because that was the biggest thing in season 1. That's what I thought. Because
Ollie just takes people down, left and right.
In the comics, Oliver Queen doesn't kill people.
Right.
He killed one person. He killed Prometheus, and went crazy over it.
Right.
Well, now in the show, he's killing
in season
people.
2, he kills
Vertigo.
and
he kills if he has to.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a pretty bad situation.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even kill Deathstroke.
Yeah. But in the situation with Vertigo, it was either kill Vertigo or Felicity was going to die.
Right.
So now it seems like movies and TV shows, you can't make one without some kind of death.
Right.
Because people realize that it's real life, because everybody's trying to do more realistic interpretations of heroes. Real life heroes, people will die.
Do you think that this realistic tone that DC wants to take with their characters, should they lighten it up a little bit, kind of like Marvel? I mean, Marvel's movies, they have moments where they get real serious, but for the most part, they're bright, they're colorful, they're fun.
I think that there are characters that suits it better.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the Flash. The Flash has been very fun and light,
right,
compared to Arrow, which is
dark,
which has kind of lightened up here recently.
Oh, it's much brighter now than it was in season 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 of Arrow, Jesus Christ, it was a Dark Knight. It was a Batman Begins ripoff.
Yeah.
Except he was killing people.
And then you got on Marvel, you have movies like The Avengers, which should be, light and just a fun movie. Then you go to Iron Man 3, which was really dark, I thought.
I thought Iron Man 2 was probably the darkest movie they've made.
Iron Man 2 was dark,
You got Tony dealing with
Alcoholism.
dying, he's an alcoholic, and that's not something you see a lot in a PG movie.
Yeah.
Well, think of also the source material. Marvel comics have always been more colorful and just more lighthearted, and DC characters have always been more, because Batman
and Iron Man is always one of those Marvel characters who should be lighthearted.
Yeah, but then you look at Batman from DC.
DC Comics has always been more adult oriented.
Yes.
Than Marvel Comics has. Marvel's always been more accessible to kids and more kid friendly.
Hence why Disney owns Marvel and Warner Brothers owns DC.
Could you imagine if Disney would have bought DC Comics instead of Marvel? How different the state of comics would be right now. I mean, look at Batman.
Batman making jokes.
Look at Batman, though. The Dark Knight Rises grossed over $1 billion with only Batman in it.
Yeah.
The Avengers grossed close to $3 billion, I believe, with Marvel's A-list that they still have the rights to.
Mm-hmm.
Now would the Avengers gross more if it had Spider-Man and Wolverine in it? Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Common sense says yeah, but I don't see how if the Justice League is worth a F. If that movie is decent, I don't see how it doesn't gross $3-4 billion.
Yeah.
With Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern,
and Flash,
even Aquaman.
Yeah.
Aquaman's become very popular recently due to the new 52 reboot.
Yeah.
And that Jason Momoa,
Injustice.
that's going to draw in all those Game of Thrones fans just to see him.
Right.
That's the
Man,
thing.
he's gonna be so good.
We talked about that.
I don't understand how that movie doesn't make just a gob of money.
We talked about that last week. Is Marvel's big hit with their actors are basically action stars or people you didn't really hear about that much before.
Mhm.
DC goes straight after Oscar-nominated performances,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Or Emmy-nominated performers
Yes.
such as Momoa. Oh, he may not,
I don't think he was ever nominated.
but he was good enough.
Yeah, he was good enough to. Yeah.
They go
No.
for they go for
Or
quality.
never spoke English.
Well, I mean, both actors on both sides are great.
Right.
I think even the TV shows. I haven't watched Agents of Shield, but I think Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin, they're great actors.
Mhm.
I think they all are. It's just that
Clark Gregg's killing it on Agents of Shield too. I mean, he's done so well.
just look. I mean, who heard of Chris Hemsworth
Before Thor.
or who had ever heard of Robert Downey Jr.
I had.
before?
Robert
Actually,
Downey Jr. was.
What did
yeah.
he
He was
play?
probably their most established guy. Robert Downey was really popular in the 90s and the early 2000s before he went on a really bad coke binge, and he kind of got kicked out of Hollywood there for a while.
Yeah.
But
Now he's back and he's doing great.
yeah, Iron Man was his kind of comeback story,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. You know, that was Jon Favreau chose Robert Downey Jr. to play that part, and Disney did not want that to happen. They said, no, absolutely not. We're not going to have that guy associated with us. And Jon Favreau said, I'm going to quit the movie if you don't cast Robert Downey Jr. So
Which did Disney have anything to do with that when?
Disney owned the rights.
Okay, I didn't.
Um,
I thought Disney bought.
Like the way it worked is Paramount gets credited for producing and distributing the movie, even though Disney done it.
Okay, I was thinking Disney didn't have anything to do with
As weird as
Marvel
that
until
sounds,
2011.
if you watch the credits all the way to the end, the very last thing you see is distributed and produced by Walt Disney Studios.
Mhm.
It's the very last thing they talk about. Iron Man 1 might be the only one that's not under the Disney banner. If there's one it's not, it'd be that and Hulk.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that Iron Man 2 started the one that Disney was there for.
I always thought that Avengers was the first one.
The Avengers is the first one that Disney got to put their logo in front of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it was not the first one they were involved with.
Because if you look at the Guardians of the Galaxy movie poster, it has from the producers who brought you Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. So
Yep.
Disney was involved before the
Yeah.
actors.
Yep, correct. Other things that the G.I. Joe series, they took a lot of creative liberty.
Hey,
Yeah.
they killed that main character in the
Yeah,
second one.
they killed
Retaliation.
Duke.
I was just
Yeah.
like, okay.
They killed the G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
To start the movie, that was weird. Other things, I'm looking down my movies here, trying to think of something.
Harry
What are
Potter.
some movies that have done really well?
Some TV shows. A TV show that has taken books and adapted them really well, or taken a lot of liberty, is Hannibal.
Yeah, knew it was coming.
Yeah. Every time I look at it, I just think, man, it's the TV show. Go watch frickin' Hannibal.
I have other priorities.
You
I'm
should
going there.
not. It's the best frickin' thing on TV. You need to watch Hannibal. Everyone needs to watch Hannibal. This show needs to live.
NBC might as well just like pay you money for.
I
advertisement.
swear to you, if NBC would give me 10 minutes in prime time, I would give you 10 minutes of me on national television just shouting, "Go watch Hannibal." Just for that's it.
Mitch is obsessed.
It's so good, guys. That's the end of topic number 2. We're going to take another break, and then we'll come back with topic number 3 of this week's Real Games Cast.